And we are live for our official kickoff to summer. So welcome and stop by and say hello. You can also ask questions. You can leave a comment. We're really hoping that these live videos will just, spark a conversation. So I am joined by my lovely co-host who happens to be my daughter-in-law. I mean, I don't have any daughters, but
we're pretty close.
But I have 3 daughters-in-law. So this is Kelly.
Hi.
And many of you know that Kelly will come along when we do shopping. And so Kelly is a petite, so she is 5 feet even and size 0. And so I am 5'8" and a size 8. So if we are showing like some of our photos, we are sharing some shopping. But before we get to shopping and our, as I said, the official kickoff to summer, we did just want to remember that Memorial Day really is a solemn holiday, and that is truly what we need to stop and be reflective of and pause. And we do understand that, but we also know that in the 21st century, it really is the kickoff to summer. And boy, do they have a lot of really good sales. So even though we're kind of immune to sales anymore, I mean, I'm just thinking way back, like when I was in my 20s, we really looked forward to these sales because things didn't go on sale like every other week. But anyway, that said, and also many of you know, if you follow us on the blog, Style to a Certain Age, Kelly always has some amazing recipes. So we have a feature every Friday, so Fridays with Oscar. So we always share a cocktail. So we are drinking Aperol spritzes, and I believe we have this recipe.
Yes.
Cheers. In the description box, so you can get that. It's a super easy cocktail. And we had one last week because it really is such a summery drink. So
yeah, it's the perfect cocktail to begin summer. Yeah.
So we have that, but then Kelly also has recipes, as I said, on Fridays. And then she also shares a recipe on Sunday. But what are you sharing with us today? Because I always like to talk about food and barbecues and things like that. Although our weather, I mean, I'm looking outside. We here in Georgia, it's actually pretty chilly.
Yeah, and rainy. So it's a good thing we didn't have a barbecue planned because we'd be bringing it back inside.
I know we
actually
would.
This week. So actually today the recipe that I want to share is a watermelon cucumber salad, and we did this on Fridays with Oscar just recently, and the reason why I love it is because it is like the best summer side dish.
It is.
And I can't even tell you, like, everyone who has a salad just absolutely loves it. It has a delicious dressing that is basically just lime juice and olive oil, salt and pepper. It's super simple, but it's really a great way to enjoy watermelon. And then you've got feta in there, which gives it a nice salty kick, and you've got the cucumber in there for more texture.
Sweet
it's
and
just
savory.
a really, really great salad.
Which I like, yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's just perfect. I mean, also it looks as good as it is. And it's really perfect for a patriotic holiday.
It really is,
yes, because it's technically red.
Because we've got the red and the white anyway. And we can have our producer float up a picture of the finished product.
You could put blueberries in next
watermelon
time.
Cucumber. Yeah, actually, you totally could.
Yeah, you totally could. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't take anything away from it. It would certainly, have a very nice presentation and would be just as delicious.
Yeah. So do you have fond memories of Memorial Day?
It being the end of the school year was basically my fondest memory growing up. I mean, it really was the kickoff to summer when I was growing up. Both of my grandfathers were in World War II, so there was always that aspect of it. And then, my father was, he went to college instead of going to Vietnam, but his brother did go to Vietnam. And so we do have a military history in my family. And so there has been a fair amount of actual the solemn sort of remembrance that Memorial Day is about in my family. But for the most part, as a kid, it's kind of hard to grasp the gravity of that, I think. Right. And so really I associated it anyway with the end of school, beginning of summer vacation. And so, yeah.
Did you still have school left after Memorial Day?
Well, we had, where I grew up, it was a very agricultural town. So we started late in September, not after late September, but we started after Labor Day and then went farther into, but it really was once Memorial Day happened, school was just about out and that was it. So, yeah.
Well, that was always me. So growing up, we started after Labor Day, and then we finished up about the first week of June. So Memorial Day was always really great because you had that long weekend, and you
Right
knew
before the end.
and you knew that when you went back, you really didn't have to do very much. And in Omaha, that's where I grew up, so it was usually warm. And I can tell you, probably 90% of my Memorial Days, I got a sunburn. I mean, you'd think that I would catch on and learn that this fair skin was not going to I mean, talk about this all the time, but anyway, yep. So I would get a sunburn and then, have to recoup for a day or two as my skin was peeling.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, that's a good start to summer then.
Yeah.
A sunburn.
Yeah, right. I don't know about that, but anyway, I love the patriotic holidays, and so this is the first of three. And the next one will be Memorial Day, and then...
Or 4th of July.
Or sorry.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day.
Today.
Hello. Yes. Hello. It's been a long weekend, actually, because, I have some other really good news. So many of you know that I have been on Grandmother Watch, or I call myself BB, so BB Watch. And yes, June has arrived. So June Djalali was born on May 22nd. And it's really very sweet because that was my late husband's birthday, was May 22nd. So it was just really, I don't know. It just, I mean, honestly,
Very special.
It was very special and just really makes me want to cry all over again. But she's here and she's safe. It was a little bit of a long labor. So things were, they just weren't optimal, I guess. I mean, way back in the day, I don't know, things are so different these days, delivering babies. I mean, OBGYNs they're like the CEOs now, and back when I was having babies, they were like the president of the company, so they're very hands-on. They're not really very hands-on now. They only get involved at the very end. So you have midwives, and then, I don't know. It's very different. Doulas, it's very, very different than when, as I said, when I was having babies. So Chelsea was in labor for 24 hours, and she's a very tiny person. I was always thinking that perhaps she would have to have a C-section. So sure enough, she had to have a C-section. But after 24 hours of labor,
it's just a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am very happy to announce, I mean, both mother and daughter are doing fine, and many women have had C-sections through the years, and I'm very thankful for C-sections because, once they made that decision, then it was pretty much boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, but just a little bit of a longer recovery. But she's beautiful, and if you want to go over to Instagram, so Chelsea, I probably won't share too many photos just because I'm very protective like that, but Chelsea did post over on Instagram like the day after that she had June, and so then I asked if I could post that as well, and she said yes. So if you want to see June Djalali, you can go over to Instagram and you can see her.
Yeah.
So so anyway, so it's been, as I said, it's been a long few days.
Long few days. Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to Memorial Day. So I'll have one extra day to recoup. But but she's beautiful. It's pretty exciting to be a BB. Yeah.
She's super cute.
Yeah,
she is very, very cute.
And now I have all of these ideas of things that I'm going to start creating over on our exclusive content. And one of them really is BB style, grandmother style, and because you want to be comfortable, but you still want to be stylish, or at least I do. So that's always top of mind. So anyway, but I have lots of things churning through my head. But and there again, stop by and say hello. And let us know where you're from, and if you have any questions, and if you have any Memorial Day traditions you'd like to share, or recipes too, please feel free to do that. So, but we can get into our shopping segment because there are those backyard barbecues. We already talked about that. We're not having one because our weather is not cooperating.
No, it is not.
But you might be headed off. You might be headed off to a barbecue. Or you might be headed off to vacation, or just simply stop by for some summer style. And we have that in spades today.
Yeah, I think today we're really just talking about summer style, regardless of Memorial Day weekend per se. Like, sales are really good, so there is that opportunity to shop. But really, this is our summer kickoff, so we're just talking about summer style, things we've had our eyes on in terms of like what we want to be wearing all summer. So yeah, we can get into that.
So do you have a go-to mean, before we get into our shopping, do you have like a summer uniform that you like?
Linen.
Uh-huh.
All
I know,
linen,
right?
top to bottom linen.
No, linen all day, every
Yeah.
day. I know.
Pretty much.
know.
Whether it's a linen t-shirt or a linen button-up, linen shorts, linen pants, linen skirts, linen dresses. Really, it's so hot and sticky down here that linen is really the only way to like get through the entire summer and actually still feel like you're, not just showing up in, a tank top and jean shorts or something like that. So, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's, the appropriate occasion. But,
Right.
but yeah, linen everything. And I think anyone can always keep adding to their linen collection.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, because there's always a new style of dress. There's always a new style of short, button-up top, things like this. So many t-shirt options, whether it's like a muscle tee or a full-on t-shirt
Right.
or, V-neck, crew neck. There's so many polo. There's so many styles. So, yeah.
Do you think people are still resistant to linen? Because I will just share this through the years. There used to be like really big camps. Like you either loved it or you hated it. There was really kind of no middle ground.
Right.
But it seems in the past like 5 years, and I'm not really sure, what the transition was, but people are becoming more and more receptive to linen and the rumpled look and just the casual ease of it. So, and you can let us know what your thoughts are. Are you yay linen or nay linen? Because it can go either way. So.
Yeah, I think people are more receptive to it now than they used to be.
It seems like that. It really does. So.
Yeah, I think embracing wrinkles has become more of a, and I think this might actually have something to do with the rise of the quiet luxury style.
You think
like,
so? Do you think
I
that's
kind of
what it
do
was?
actually, because I do think that there's this. If we think about, oh my gosh, like there are. I can't remember which James Bond movie it is, but Daniel Craig is James Bond wearing linen, when he's like in a tropical location and he's wrinkly, but it's a button up and it looks fantastic. And there's just something very like, I don't know. I think it's reached a moment of like not worrying about actual wrinkles in your linen, and you realize like it's a very chic and comfortable and easy way to
I
move
think it is.
through summer,
Yeah.
actually, in so many ways.
But I've always loved it. But as I said, and I even have a really good friend. She's a blogger friend of mine, Fabulous After 40. So go check her out. She has a blog. She's not on YouTube, but she recently had this post. She's very type A, and she does not like things out of sync at all. So she never liked linen because it was rumply.
Oh yeah.
But she's really just changed her mind.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting to see how, as I said, we've kind of something shifted, and I'm not exactly sure where it was. And you could be right. Maybe it's James Bond and Daniel Craig, who's a nice piece of eye candy.
I mean, he certainly is, and I can't point a finger to that specifically, but I do think that there is this like this sense of quiet luxury where we've gotten a lot more comfortable with wearing pieces of clothing that would have normally been maybe tagged as casual, but because they're in a beautiful fabric or a beautiful cut, they're, it's part of that quiet luxury thing. And I think that whole thing is, I think, still, and it's actually the perfect way. Winter and summer are really the best for the quiet luxury thing, because you've got the chunky sweaters in the winter, and then in the summer, I think you've got, beautiful linen and oversized cuts that actually feel really appropriate.
Yes.
And fit all body types, because it's hot and nobody wants to wear some form-fitting thing in the summer. So I think there's an aspect to that quiet luxury aesthetic that really like suits the linen.
Well, and I love it. So we can talk about pants. We can kick off our summer shopping with pants, and white pants in particular, because in the old days, and I'm talking about like my mother's generation, there really was this rule that you could only wear white after Memorial Day, and then you had to put it away at Labor Day.
Yeah.
So you just had this very short window of time to wear white pants. So anyway, I thought I would kick it off with that. But one thing that I love with the linen look are the drawstring pants. We have this beautiful, and if you can pull up the white Quince drawstring pants, and Quince's, boy, are they just killing it with linen. I
Yeah.
mean, they
I mean,
have
they're
everything.
killing it with everything.
Well, yeah, they
Cashmere,
are.
linen. I mean, they
yeah,
really have.
They are. But I love these drawstring pants in particular because talk about comfortable, and they just go with everything. You can just put them on. You could put them on over your swimsuit. You could put them on, just with a tee. You can then throw a button down over it, and I mean, there's just multiple ways that you can wear that. And then they have, I mean, how many colors do they have? They have like 12. I
think that's what I really like about Quince too. Is like not only are they replicating styles from some more expensive brands at lower prices, same quality, lower prices, but they're actually offering way more colors. So let's say you see a pair of pull-on linen pants at J.Crew. They're only in 3 colors or 4 colors. You go over to Quince, same quality, same style, and they've got like 12 colors. Like it's they're really doing a good job with that.
And I will tell you that we have all of the links to all of these products we're talking about in the description box. So, but yes, so Quince, and these are the European linen pants. They also have different styles too. They have like wide leg. They also have shorts, and I mean 2 gazillion pairs of, well, not pairs, but dresses. And we'll talk about those down the line. But so those are very, very comfortable pants all summer long. And then also I like these J.Crew Kaya linen pants. They're a little bit more polished, I would say. They just have a solid front, just so flat front, and just so you could really. These are a pair of pants that you could dress up, you could dress down. They're definitely not. I think drawstring pants really are very, very casual.
They are, yeah. I think that anytime you have a drawstring involved, it's automatically casual.
You can dress it up to to a little to a degree, but so I love these Kaya pants, and so I think I have a pair, or I styled them with a denim jacket. In this photo, I think I styled them with a denim jacket and a green sleeveless sweater tee.
Okay.
Or tank.
Yeah, I think I feel like unless they're kind of a trouser cut, so for me personally, I go for either like the pull-on, elastic waist. I'm gonna wear it over my bathing suit, but I might also just wear it with a t-shirt, out and about or whatever. But unless it's like tailored with pleats and has pockets and is button and all the things, there's really like two versions of a linen pant that I'm going to wear all summer. So one of the pairs, actually, I just got this pair, and I'm excited to feature them on the blog. It's the Pilcro Smocked Linen Blend Barrel Pants. So if we can float that photo up.
Yeah.
So this is like one of my favorite.
That's a great brand
cuts
over
of
at Anthropology.
Pants. Yeah, Pilcro. So barrel leg pants, we've talked a lot on the blog, and I've shown these a lot, the barrel leg jeans. And I think that this is a style that people either hate it or love it. I think the people who thought they would hate it and have tried it have actually loved it, and that was kind of me. Like, it took me a long time to get on board with the barrel leg. But I think especially if you're talking about a linen pant, it's a softer cut. It's just very much more wearable in terms of casual style. So I feel like if you're on the fence about whether or not to try,
What's the name of this?
it's called the Pilcro Smocked Linen Blend Barrel Pants. Yeah.
We're chatting with our producer to get the right photo up.
To get the photos
Yeah,
up.
and please stop by and say hello and share your Memorial Day plans with us if you have any, or maybe you're like us and you're just kind of winging it.
Yeah, maybe it's terrible weather where you are too.
But there's also a blockbuster movie out this weekend.
There's a few actually.
So which ones were you wanting to go to?
Definitely the Mission Impossible movie.
And I've heard it's his last one.
Well,
That's what I heard.
yeah, we'll see about that. I'm not sure anyone could keep Tom Cruise from doing what Tom Cruise wants to do.
I know.
But yeah, that's what they say. And on his slate, actually, for movies going forward in the next couple years, he actually has some more sort of cerebral, maybe more drama, less action-based movies on his slate. So we'll see. Maybe he'll do those first, and then come back to Mission Impossible at some point. Who knows? But I think I've heard actually that there is I don't think Top Gun 3 is off the table necessarily. I
hope
I
not.
think they might
That'd
do
be
another one of
great.
those. So that's very action. And then Days of Thunder. There's a little bit of buzz out there about a sequel to Days of Thunder. So that's another Tom Cruise action bit that could be really interesting. But I would like to see him kind of go back to do some more sort of interesting cerebral type stuff. So we'll see.
I don't have that photo.
You don't have that
Oh.
photo? Okay.
What is the title of the photo?
Pilcro?
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well,
Linen blend barrel pants.
Linen blend. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have that.
But we
Well,
sort
there
of
we go.
we sort of got off topic from that anyway. But
We
what
did.
I was trying to say with that is like if you're resistant to the barrel pant cut, like a linen version of it is a very easy way to enter into that cut of pant, and then maybe by the time fall rolls around, you'll be loving it, and you'll want to get a barrel jean. Because Talbots actually has a really, really cool barrel jean right now.
Everybody
it actually
does.
turned up on our readers' favorites this week in our newsletter that comes out today
did
at
it?
5.
Okay.
I think this is a style, like it's basically a straight leg, but because it's darted at the knee, it kind of gives a little bit of a curved shape to it, which adds just enough difference, I think, to make it feel a little bit unique.
That's
and
what the Madewell
super wearable.
barrel jean does.
They have a dart right
yes,
at the knee.
and it really
Yeah.
kind of breaks it up, and so it breaks the shape up, and it doesn't make it too exaggerated. I think when it's really exaggerated and it looks like a horseshoe,
Yeah.
then I'm not so inclined
Yeah.
to liking it that silhouette. But I do like the Madewell.
Yeah. I mean,
Darted.
there are definite variations of how barrely the jeans can get.
know,
And some of them,
yeah.
yes, are very cowboy
Yeah,
bow-legged.
They are, yeah.
But a lot of them aren't, and it just kind of takes looking around. But these Pilcro linen blend barrel pants are really, really, they're so comfortable, and they've got a smocked, like a wide smocked waist, so you could tuck something in and have a nice defined waist with the more flowy pant, or you can just simply wear a t-shirt over it and just have that comfort. But yeah, these are good, and I'm excited to put these on the blog in a couple weeks. So.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do. So do we have anybody stopping by?
We do actually. So we
So
have.
let's say hello. Let's stop by and say hello.
Okay, so hi Beth and Kelly. This is Beatrice from Guatemala,
Hi, Beatrice from Guatemala. Thanks
Very
for
nice,
stopping
yeah.
by.
and then Robin, who's a Georgia gal but who lives in Florida.
Okay. Hi,
Good
Robin.
to see you, Robin.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then we have a question actually from Susan. She says, "How did they choose the baby's name?" So I was looking at my computer. I was a little bit distracted because I saw your question come in, and I wanted to actually give you an accurate
Very
answer.
sweet.
So, so June is a name that Chelsea and Andrew decided on together. Apparently, it was a stormy night. The power went out, and they sat by the fire. They wanted something punchy and short, timeless, and easy to pronounce.
Because Djalali
Is
really,
a little bit of a mouthful.
a little bit.
So I could see you wanting to go with single syllable for the first name. And there's an alliterative aspect to June and Djalali, so I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get over how cute June sounded with Djalali, so that's what they went for. And then her middle name is Sia, in a tribute to Andrew's mom and your
My late husband.
husband, Mac. So
Right. His name was Sia Mac. He was Persian. So his family actually nicknamed him Sia, so they called him Sia, but the American side nicknamed him Mac. So they took the first three letters of his name. So she is June Sia Djalali, and then, as I said, born on my late husband's birthday. So it's very special. It
at the
really
11th
is.
hour, literally, she was
I know.
born at 11:05. We were
11:05.
worried she was
know.
going to go past midnight, and then it was, so
And then she did. But anyway,
it worked out.
yep. So that's how she got her name.
All right.
So-
And then we have Melissa from Washington State. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. How's your weather? I'm
Over on the West Coast.
Probably nicer than ours. I think.
probably,
I don't know.
yeah.
We just have not really. I'm wondering if we're going to have a cool, rainy summer, because that's really kind of what's been going on the past month.
It is, but I think it's going to translate to a hot and dry summer.
Hot and
Let's
dry?
place bets.
Or
Yeah.
hot and humid. I mean,
Hot
well,
and humid, yeah.
we typically have hot and humid. But
Oh, boy.
Anyway, I know.
I'm enjoying this kind of, I want all of the plants to get a good soak.
Well,
I'm ready for
they
that
definitely
to
have.
happen, so.
They definitely
Yeah.
have. So, well, we'll wrap up our white pant segment. So we shared a few, and again, I will just say that all the links are down below in the description box. But one tip that I always share with white pants, because they really are less forgiving than all the other pants, and definitely size up. And so
that's a
I
good
would,
tip.
and I just recommend, especially with white denim, size up, because you just have a looser, more relaxed fit, and it's just not as revealing as other pants would be.
That's a really good tip.
When you do that. So if you stick to your own size, that's when people tend to run into trouble with white pants. So anyway, that's just my pro tip. Size up.
I like it.
With white pants. So next, sandals are very
let's move on to
important. I know it's
sandals.
sandal season.
Love it.
Pedicure. So ladies, maybe you're good at giving yourself a pedicure. I always head off. It's just kind of like me time.
Yeah.
So I'll get a manicure and a pedicure because I never really mastered that skill. But I know many of us just do. Polish your nails at home, or do you go off?
No, and I actually rarely have polished nails.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm keep it very natural. If I do polish it, it'll be my toes because all summer long I'm really spending a lot of time in the yard. So my fingernails are constantly getting dirt under them, and I cannot spend money on a manicure and then have that be
Do you wear
the case.
gardening gloves?
No, I don't, because I can't feel what I'm doing if I'm wearing gloves.
Really?
And it's so hot. It's so hot. My hands would get so sweaty.
Yeah.
So no, I don't wear gloves. I brave the thorns and all. But if I do get a pedicure, I do like to go and have it done because it is a little bit of me time that I really appreciate.
I like that.
Yeah.
Usually they give you a nice little soak, and then they'll give you a nice little massage, and then depending on the level of your pedicure, you can add on and do
for sure.
some fancy-dancy.
For sure. And I actually don't add on at all really, and I want to give a shout out to my gal Patrice over at Frenchie's here in Athens. She's the best pedicurist, manicurist of all time.
That's nice.
She's my favorite.
Very good. Well, anyway, so we're pedicure ready with our summer sandals. Excuse me. And one of my go-to brands for sandals, so affordable, is Sam Edelman.
Yeah, I know. I love him.
Yes, he's
Yeah, or
amazing.
them. Yeah.
And so his Bay Slides, a lot of people think that they'll share this when they're looking at the Hermes and they're looking for a dupe. So they come along with the Sam Edelman Bay Slide. I can see where they think that it's a little bit of a dupe, but
well, the E and the H are similar letters in terms of when your logo is on the front of a shoe.
yeah. But anyway, I love them, and I think that it's such a great brand.
Sam Edelman photo.
Yes, Sam Edelman, and very, very well made. And this is a perennial. Again, it comes in like 2 gazillion colors. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating, but a lot of colors.
Yeah.
And it's a great go-to sandal.
Well, let me write on the back of that because Sam Edelman is one of my most favorite brands for shoes of all kinds, but also summer shoes. And Christian, if you can throw up the Paulina Espadrille. This is kind of a similar version in that it has that H/E, the Edelman logo. But these are platform or flat form, I guess. They're kind of a little bit risen, like you do get a little bit of height on your heel, but they're that kind of flat form style that is really popular, where it's a platform, but your foot isn't necessarily jacked up super high in the back. So they're very wearable. They will give you height, but they're very wearable because you don't have this uncomfortable position for your foot.
Right.
With a traditional heel or espadrille wedge or something like that.
And that's what I like about Flatmores. And I think you're right in your description of that because they're the same height from the heel to the toe.
Yeah.
And I think that's what
it's so
makes the
comfortable.
difference
Yeah,
between a platform and a Flatmore.
Yeah, it's so much more comfortable. And when it's a slide, sandal, it's just so easy. You just slip them on. And honestly, Sam Edelman really does a great job with the quality is super good. All the Sam Edelman shoes I've had for several years at least. And yeah, and they're super affordable, and they're really following all of the current trends. So it's really easy to try something new if you haven't tried it before in terms of style, but not spend a fortune.
Breaking the bank. Yeah, Sam Edelman's a favorite of mine. Marc Fisher's a go-to.
Really
Schutz is a go-to.
Yeah.
All very affordable, and they all have one eye towards the luxury market, and then they bring it to us in a very affordable way.
Yeah,
So.
which I really appreciate that, especially when it comes to trending things like this one I'm going to talk about next, and it's a mesh espadrille.
Okay.
Okay, so mesh has been on the forefront for, I don't know, the past year and a half, I would say. And I've seen them come in all sorts of ways. So whether it's an espadrille or a Mary Jane for fall and winter, I've seen them come in a lot of different ways, but the mesh espadrille is especially popular this summer. And Christian, if we could have the mesh espadrille flat from J.Crew. So often they come in multiple colors. So these are white that I'm showing here today, but they also come in, I think, black and blue. There's a blue version that's really pretty.
That's
kind
nice.
of would be really pretty with a denim outfit
I think
or a denim ensemble.
Blue's an unsung hero, and there aren't a lot of options when it comes to blue. You would think that there'd be a lot of blue shoes out there, but there really isn't. It can be very challenging.
It's like finding blue flowers. It's hard.
It is.
But yeah, these come in, the blue that they are is a very bright and punchy blue. It's a very pretty blue. But I did not think I would like the mesh shoe thing at all. But then I got a couple pairs of Mary Janes last year, and I just loved them so much.
Yeah.
And then this year I did get a Sam Edelman pair of mesh Mary Jane espadrilles that I've been wearing a lot lately. But I feel like it's one of those things that it's a very on-trend thing, but so the material is on trend, but the style is very classic and something that we're
Very
familiar with. So
I
it's
like
like
that.
a really easy way to kind of like
have both.
update your outfit.
The best
but-
of both worlds.
Exactly.
You
Update
can be
your
fashion
outfit.
forward, but yet the silhouette is very classic. So I like that. So I've always, because you started wearing them like a year or two ago, the mesh, and you look really adorable in them. I don't have any mesh. That's
They're
one
so
thing
comfortable too.
that
That's
I
the other
haven't
thing.
gotten.
Yeah, the uppers on mesh shoes. I mean, they're super flexible. It's very comfortable. You have all like freedom of movement. Like they give really well. It's just a great shoe. I was very skeptical at first, but I'm so glad that
you
I've
like
jumped on that. Yeah.
So I will mention one more shoe before we move on to the next section. And so this is from J. McLaughlin. And I love this brand, me personally, because it's very classic, it's very preppy, and it just, I don't know. I love their colors because they are not shy about adding color to their shirts or to their dresses, but they also know how to play it safe too with the neutrals. But so the Jessamine sandal. So if you could put a Jessamine, is it Jessamine?
Jessamine, yep.
Jessamine.
That's
Jessamine.
just what I was thinking of. I was going to tell Christian, float up that Jessamine picture.
This shoe has been on style repeat since it has been in my house, and that was probably about a year and a half ago.
You've had them for a long time, yeah.
Yes. So they don't have the color that I'm wearing in this photo, but they have denim. So they have the blue.
Oh, they have a denim?
I know. It's really beautiful. So it's like a dark indigo denim.
I like it.
And then it's trimmed with brown leather. It's very sharp, very
nice
classic, very
contrast,
sharp.
yeah.
And then they also have a dark, like I don't know what they call it, but it's more of a brown color this year. Where mine is like a light linen color.
Yeah.
And this year
it's more of like a dark wicker kind of, because it's a woven version. Yeah.
But what I like about these, they are. It's the heel. I just love the heel height, and I just love the shape of the heel as well. So it's square, and so it's just a little bit different, but they're just so comfortable. They go with absolutely everything. They go with jeans, they go with shorts, they go with dresses. So I'm definitely recommending these, and I think you would love them. And I do believe that the indigo ones are on sale.
Oh, that's fantastic.
For Memorial Day.
Well, you definitely over on the blog have worn these shoes for the last year and a half, and you've styled them with so many different things. So if you are curious about these shoes and want style inspiration, Beth has styled them, like she said, with pants, shorts.
They go with everything.
Dresses, skirts,
They're
all
like
the
my
things.
go-to.
Yeah.
They're definitely my go-to shoe, and because they're neutral and just a beautiful. And I love the texture. So that's one thing that I talk about a lot is, bringing texture into your outfit, because it's just an easy way just to really kind of zhuzh something up. So,
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, so those are a few of our favorite shoes, sandals for this year.
Yeah,
So
let's take a quick second, really
sure.
quick, and just say hello to Lisa. She says, hello, ladies.
Hi, Lisa.
And then Dolores saying hi from Texas.
And Dolores from Texas. How's your weather? I'm curious what everybody else is experiencing this Memorial Day weekend.
Well, we have
it could either
someone...
be really, really hot.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean...
I know, it just
we are
varies.
not. Which
we are
is
not.
so unusual for us, but we'll take it.
So Melissa, I don't know where you're from, Melissa Larson. She says it's dry, but it could be warmer.
Okay.
It's dry, could be warmer, but it's dry. So I'm sorry it's dry.
Yeah.
And it sounds chilly. So I don't know where you are, but I get it totally. And then we've got Lori from Minnesota.
Aw, my old stomping grounds. Well, actually, I used to live in Texas many years ago and lived in Minnesota too. So I'm very familiar with both of those climates. And I was actually thinking of a Memorial Day I spent in sweats all weekend long, and this was when the boys were little and my mom was alive, and she came down to visit us in Rochester, Minnesota, and it was just so flipping cold, and so we took the boys, so forget about, again, the barbecues, things like that, so we just we piled the boys up. We went to McDonald's, let them play, because they were small enough where they could still play like in the balls and things like that.
The play place, yeah.
Yeah. Do they still have those?
I don't think that they do. Let us know, y'all, if you live in a place where McDonald's play places still exist.
Probably a health hazard or something.
I just hit the microphone. I loved those when I was a kid. My mom used to, and when Chicken McNuggets first came out, like, it was all the thing. Like,
I know.
She would take us to McDonald's. We'd play at the play place.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Virtual now.
Really?
Yeah, like iPads, Xboxes.
Oh, it's virtual.
Oh, virtual.
Oh, so
Interesting. You bring your device?
your device with you, and then
They have the device there.
Oh, they have
this
the device
is so
there.
strange.
That is.
That is so strange.
Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
I know they have.
Gosh. Well,
Okay.
really quick while we're still here, Polished After 60, Yvette says Florida weather is hot, and I do believe it
Yeah,
is.
I bet
I
it is.
can totally imagine. And then here it's warm, but it's going to rain. Bearzu, let us know where you are. Where are you that it's warm, but it's going to rain?
Yeah. And again, thanks so much for stopping by.
Guatemala. She's from Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Sorry, I just got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for stopping by with our live shopping. And I really have heard that really live shopping is like all the rage. I like over on TikTok and probably more on TikTok. I think Instagram's really kind of moving in that direction. So
Well,
we somewhat are over here with our YouTube lives, but we also, I'm here to tell you, you can throw a question at us. We'd love to hear your comments if you have any Memorial Day traditions that you like, or maybe you have.
Yeah.
We shared a couple of recipes earlier in the program, but we're just trying to like mix shopping in with other things too. So
well, real life, because we all actually do shop.
I know.
And so that's real.
I know that's very true.
But really quick before we finish up here, I do want to hit on some of the dresses that you picked out, because I feel like you've got some very beautiful options that are really great for dressing up from day to evening. Very versatile dress options here. I'd like to talk a little bit about those, and then if maybe we could get into like one or two accessories.
Sure. Let's do it.
So let's get into that really quickly. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, first of all, I will just say I'm always on the hunt for dresses just because they're just so easy. And I say this all the time. Dresses are one and done, they're zip and go. So, and they just really take the guesswork out of your outfit, because you're not having to think about, does this blouse really go with this skirt, or things like that. So I love dresses, and I especially love them in the summertime.
Yeah.
And there are just so many great options to choose from. And I just recently did a YouTube video, so we just started a new series over there called The Classics Reimagined, and we brought it over to the blog too. So we're just taking like one wardrobe staple that's a time and true staple, like the shirt dress, that's been around since the 1950s. So I'll just give you just a little brief synopsis of the video, but Christian Dior introduced it in the 1950s, and it really just took off from there.
Yeah.
And so through the decades, it's gone through some metamorphoses. I don't know. Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's changed.
It's gone through some changes.
It's changed through the years.
Yeah.
But I mean, at its core, it's just such an easy dress to wear. So one of my all-time favorites is my J.Crew linen shirt dress. They call it a utility dress, and they bring these out every single year. And I have a black one, and I mean, it's just on style repeat all summer long. I love it.
Yeah, I do know that shirt dress, and I think I actually have one. But the one that I'm really excited about this year is, Christian, can you float up Kelly linen shirt dress photo? This is from Madewell, which is, J.Crew's nearest and dearest.
Younger sister. It's like Barbie and Midge.
It is. So this is the Midge version. I really like this because of the pockets on the front. It's just a more updated. I think the linen shirt dress from J.Crew is a classic, and it will always be there. And I know that I have one, but there's something just about one that has. I love the pockets, but I also love the bold buttons that go all the way down the front of this dress. And it's got pockets on the sides, so you can stick your hands in your pockets there. Just super comfortable, super easy. And honestly, the linen is very substantial.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really, like, this linen dress is going to last the rest of your life.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's a really great dress.
And so you have it in neutral color. So
I
there
do.
Again, I mean, I always recommend go with neutrals at the beginning, and then when you're building out, I mean, if you have your black and your white covered, then veer off, because I do love to add color to my wardrobe. But
for sure. Well, and this is the perfect opportunity with like the neutral base if you want to do like pop a color with your accessories, whether you're like having a handbag that's super colorful, or maybe your shoes are super colorful, your statement jewelry, like, so.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
a neutral dress will get you far.
Yes, it will. And then I have to give a call out to Quince. So this is a maxi dress. So this is a strapless maxi dress. So if you can pull that up. I love this dress. It is just perfect for vacation. I mean, we love maxi dresses when we head off to vacation, and we also love maxi dresses if we have a special occasion, like maybe not like too fancy, but if you're going to brunch, or if you're going to like a shower, or I mean, I can just think of maybe you're going to a christening or something like that. And with the strapless dress, all you have to do really then is you just take a wrap. You can put it over a beautiful scarf, or it could just be a blazer. I showed this dress with a blazer just thrown over my shoulders, and so there again you can dress it up a little bit. But boy, do I love this dress! It's really a beautiful dress. And then Quince strikes again. I'm telling you, that brand just can really do no wrong.
They're really doing a good job.
Yeah.
And they don't sell specifically petite sizes, but I do know that on their pants, they do, for certain styles, they do have an inseam option.
Do they?
Yes, and sometimes it's like 3 options, so like maybe 24, 30, and 32, or something around that range. So they don't actually call them petite, but for some things you do have an option. But they don't really have that for dresses. I don't feel like.
I know. That's the one thing.
It's kind of tough.
I know.
Yeah.
But a lot of brands are like that.
I know.
I'm not really sure why.
So I don't either, actually.
There's really no rhyme or reason, and I think that you would be wanting to expand your audience more, or your shopper a little bit more, but
have more plus sizes, have more petite sizes,
and tall,
and
and cater. I mean, women are a variety pack. We are not, we're not cookie cutters. We're built very differently. Lots of different sizes and heights and things like that. So that's always been very baffling to me. And I guess that's why, I mean, I will call out Talbots time and time again, because they really do cover the gamut pretty much.
They do. Talbots and Taylor, even Loft.
Yeah.
There are certain brands out there that really do take care of the petites. But, I think also you can be a savvy petite shopper if you are petite, and kind of, obviously, you can try things and send them back, and that's totally fine.
Right.
But there's so many little, workarounds that us petites can do to sort of get around it. And I definitely have some Quince regular size things that I've managed to make work for my petite frame. I'll buy a mini skirt, and it's a knee-length skirt, or something like that. So there's ways around it, but
or you buy a mini skirt, and then it hits you in the right place. Where I'm buying a mini skirt, and it really is a mini skirt. So. That's when I'm very jealous. But I did want to call out 2 sales that I think are really important, because I do like more, I can't say that they're luxury brands. I mean, Ralph Lauren. I I mean, he does have like the purple line that is actually very,
And double aura.
yes, very, very luxury price. But, you know, for the most part, he is, I would say, mid-price point. Or Lauren definitely is, in Polo definitely is. But anyway, Ralph Lauren is having 30% off this weekend for Memorial Day. So this is a time of year that I will shop Ralph Lauren because I love him. He's my, you know, I will always love Ralph Lauren, and he's been my number one designer for years. So 30% off Ralph Lauren. So go head over there if you like Ralph. And then Veronica Beard is also having 20% off. So, and she doesn't really go on sale all that often. So I just wanted to mention those two brands that I love, and
Those
they are
great
on
sales.
They really are good sales. And then we'll just talk about accessories, and then we'll wrap it up for today.
Sounds good.
And then so stop by and say hello, or if you want to drop a comment, let us know before we sign off.
Yeah.
But
let's move on to accessories.
okay, let's do it. So this is a time of year that I love wicker handbags, raffia handbags, straw handbags. I mean, canvas. I mean, give me all. I just love. It's just so much fun to just to leave your leather handbag. In its little dust cover, and then you just transition into just the fun textures that summer has to offer. So.
Well, another thing about that really catches me is that I feel like there's a lot about winter style, whether it's accessories or even just fashion, that is really all about utility. Like, am I wearing a right jacket for going outside when it's cold? Am I wearing the right shoes for if it's raining or cold? Am I carrying the right handbag so it's not, so there's so much like utilitarian ideas that happen around winter and even late fall style, but summer is like a whole other thing for me. Like, that's just like the skies open up, and even if it's a thunderstormy rainy day, like the skies still open up, and I can carry my wicker, I can carry my straw, I can wear my sandals. Like, there's just, I don't know, it just feels so much more
you're just lighter,
freeing,
you're brighter, and yes, but I love that element of texture that we're able to bring into our outfits. So
I do too. Hey, bub.
And honestly, I mean, Talbots always has an array of selections with handbags. They always do a really good job with their handbags. I mean, some of my very favorite handbags through the years have come from Talbots.
Well, I know you've used a lot of them, and when I try to give people similar options, it gets tricky because Talbots, I mean, it's tried and true. Like, they really have a really good...
They do a good job.
Yeah. And actually, one of my favorite bags that they have right now, and I don't have a picture of it necessarily, but but I've used it a lot, and it's something that I really love, is this fold-over clutch. It's like caning. So it looks like a caning, and it's fold over, or you can carry it, by the top handle, or you can sling it over as a crossbody. Like, it's super versatile, but it's so cool and so chic. Honestly, because of its versatility.
Right.
You can carry it so many different ways, and it's going to go with everything all summer.
Yeah, because when you fold it over into a clutch, then it's really kind of an evening bag, or if you're using it as a tote, then it's just much more casual. So I like that versatility. It really does.
Do too.
It gives you bang for your buck.
Talbots.
So Talbots does a really good job, but I will give a call out to Land's End because I will forever love their canvas totes, and then you can monogram them, which even makes my heart sing even just a little bit more.
Well, and those are great bags for like shopping and going to the beach, and they're really going to go with you from
they're
A
great
to B.
beach bags. Yeah, they are. So I will give a shout out with them, and then. Quince has this really beautiful Italian leather belt bag, which are very popular. And if you're going on vacation, I would highly recommend a belt bag. You can actually, you don't have to wear it like, the old fanny packs. You can wear it
like a sling.
Like a sling, across your shoulder. And then you have it in front. And so then you know what's going on all the time, which is nice. So it gives you ease of mind, I think, when you're traveling.
I was actually just, Alex and I went to Spain in March, April, and I feel like it was like the perfect bag to take was that kind of sling bag, because you really only want to carry a few things with you, and if you can have it slung around the front of you, it just, peace of mind, it feels really good, and it's very easy to access too, so like you're in and out of a restaurant or a shop or whatever, it's super easy. I love it.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I will mention, we're running out of time, but for beauty, because we always like to have beauty items on sale, and Elemis is offering 25% off this weekend, which I think is huge.
Yeah, that's
it's really
a great
nice.
deal.
And one of my all-time favorite, and if you can put up the cleansing balm, a photo of the cleansing balm, but that's honestly one of my all-time favorite cleansers. Is a cleansing balm.
We don't have a photo of it.
Oh, we don't have it?
Nope.
Oh, well, I
Nope,
probably
we don't.
that was probably me. That was probably me who didn't put it in the file. But anyway,
We don't, but it's easy to find, and we can put a link up in the description box so you guys can find it. But yeah, Elemis is my most favorite skincare brand.
And one
Absolutely
thing
love them.
I always notice when I'm on a cruise, the spas on the cruise lines always carry Elemis products, which I think is very telling right there. So
Well, and it's good to take advantage of the sale, honestly, and stock up.
25% off. That's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, for beauty, I think it's
sure.
really good. So go check them out, and then I'll just give a little call out. So if you're interested in thickening your eyebrows or your eyelashes, they do have products out for that. And then one that I do like is Grande Lash MD. No, it's
Grande Lash.
Grande Lash MD. And I really do like these. They were at the LTK conference a couple of years ago. One of the last ones I went to. I don't go to those anymore. I used to love to go and then catch up with my friend Deb. But anyway, the great thing about conferences like that is you're introduced to new brands. At the time,
So yeah, you learn.
that was a new brand to me. And I really, and so I use them for quite some time. And so highly recommend them. So yeah.
Okay, well, I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that happens, Kelly, when you get older.
Oh, I've noticed.
Is your lashes are a little thinner, and so are your
definitely
eyebrows, and it's just like, what's going on?
I
But
have
anyway.
definitely noticed that.
But now we have products that actually help with things like that. So
Yeah.
So any other thoughts before we sign off, or has anyone stopped by to say hello? And we can say hello back. before
No,
we
actually,
go?
I think most people are actually enjoying beautiful weather and out
probably
barbecuing
are.
today or doing something with their families that is, just a lot more fun than sitting in front of a TV
I know,
or whatever.
right?
So yeah, no, this has been great. I've enjoyed our conversation. I'm excited to share recipes and all of the things that we're thinking about for summer. So
Yeah.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, that wraps another week of our, I don't know, we're just calling it live.
We
Our
are
live
calling it
YouTube.
live.
And it is shopping, but
I don't
we're
know.
also...
Does anyone have any ideas for
Yeah.
like a show title or something that we might brand this as? I don't know. What do you guys want to see?
Send it our way. If you have any ideas, send it our way. But so I will mention one thing. So we do have a membership over on the blog. So we're offering exclusive content. We've been a little bit light on that because me personally, I've just been trying to figure out, what can I bring to you that's a little bit different than our regular blog post, what's different than our YouTube channel. But I have a couple of really good ideas in a couple of series that I'm going to launch over there. And one really is BB style. So, being a new grandmother, what am I going to be wearing? So you'll be seeing that over there, but I am doing a drop. So it's a summer capsule wardrobe. So you will find things like that over there. And we do have some travel capsule wardrobes.
We do,
over
but
there,
I think
packing lists and things like that.
But I think the other thing that remains constant for the membership over on the blog is an ad-free experience. So if you become a member to Style at a certain age on the blog, you get to experience the entire site ad-free all the time.
That's
100% ad-free. And then we do, and we will more so in the future, be having more exclusive content. So it's a multi-benefit subscription service. So
But we'd love to have you come over there and be part of our exclusive membership over there and have exclusive content. So
yeah, because we'd also actually like to know from you guys, like if you come over there and want to do that, like what are some things that you would want to see? What could we provide you that would be beneficial? Let us know, because we're kind of figuring it out and trying to, trying to do it right.
as we're going along. So anyway, well, cheers again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Memorial Day.
To another episode. And yes, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks so much for stopping by.